He has a loss to Tevin Farmer, so this is not a natural 147 fighter.
He put Tevin Farmer on the map. Like people, exactly. That's when Tevin Farmer was getting better. And first of all, shout out to Brooklyn in the in the chat. Obviously, if you have any comments or any question,
super chat
that you want us to answer, just throw a super chat. It could be even for 1 penny. We're gonna answer it. We're gonna throw the number in there so y'all could call in as well and tune in with us. But I guess Danny Garcia found out that it's not so easy to knock out your opponent, because remember, he was criticizing my man Errol Spence, saying you couldn't knock out a lightweight. And we know, I mean, of course, Mikey Garcia is one of the best pound for pound fighters in the game, especially when Errol Spence fought him. And he was saying if I fought him, I would have knocked him out. But based on this performance, I don't see him knocking out Mikey Garcia. Not saying he can't beat Mikey. I'm just saying I don't see him knocking out Mikey, because Mikey has a chin. Mikey is a counterpuncher, and he's 10 times better than a red catch. So if you couldn't stop a red catch, who every time you hit him, he was stunned or hurt or wobbly, how you expect to stop a Mikey Garcia? So things aren't as easy as it looked from the outside looking in. Obviously, Mikey Garcia was the one that turned down the fight and went the Jesse Vargas route. It wasn't Danny Garcia, but that's just food for thoughts out there, because he was critiquing Errol Spence, saying, you could have finished, of course, a lightweight. I would have knocked him out. But we see you against Red Catch, who was a lightweight, right? He fought Tevin Farmer and moved up, and he couldn't finish him in the showcase fight for Errol Spence.
A quick super chat from Randy Ridley. Shout out, man. Appreciate the love. And he says, I've been subscribed since there was only 5 of us in the live stream. Keep up the good work, AkHi. Salute to you and the movement. Baby, Brooklyn. Family,
Randy.
Appreciate it.
Hey, you already know, when you from the same place, you could always relate, because you could take somebody out of Brooklyn, but you can never take Brooklyn out of somebody when they leave Brooklyn. So that being said, appreciate it, fam. Appreciate it, Randy. Obviously, that's my hometown. That's where I was born. Always close to my heart. Appreciate it, Randy. But on to the next round. If you also got a question with a super chat, always throw it in there. And call in, Randy. I left the number. Please call in. But next topic, next round is Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence. Now, how does that play out? Based on what you saw stylistically, does Danny have a chance? Because he didn't look too good against the southpaw. And Red Catch, like I said, he didn't have power. He was getting hurt every time Danny hit him. Now, I'm not saying it was a close fight or any of that sort. I mean, he didn't even win a round. Nope. But what I'm saying is he was supposed to get Red Catch out of there in 2 rounds. I told you this is about to be a highlight reel. You told me, man, are we going live? I'm like, man, by the time I'm finished setting it up, he might knock him out. Yeah. Then watching the fight, it went 12. I'm like, is you serious? So against an Errol Spence, who is the truth?
He is the truth.
We don't know how he gonna come back, but even a 70% Errol Spence. I mean, how you see stylistically, does that fight play out? Does Errol Spence have a chance of stopping Danny? Does Danny have a chance of upsetting the apple cart, the truth, Errol Spence?
I mean, there's always a chance. I just don't see it. I think Errol Spence is clearly the better fighter between the two. I think he's the more gifted fighter, more talented. So Errol Spence doesn't have like crazy fast feet, but he has like very strategic footwork. He's able to get into positions that he wants to be. He has a rapier like jab that I think will really confound Danny Garcia. And so usually And then one thing I was looking at is how Danny Garcia, how effective he was at landing the left hook. And you can land the left hook against a southpaw. And you can actually land the jab. We were talking about that at the fight. I was like, just watch somebody like Floyd, somebody that's really sophisticated. And I think that you should, because that's going to keep that lead hand of them occupied. You can work your jab up and down. But also mix in some straight rights. But the truly elite fighters are able to get in their left hook against southpaws. He did get in some left hooks to the body, some left hooks to the head, but that was against an inferior opponent. And I think against Errol Spence, I would take him possibly with a late round knockout. But this is me being nostalgic. I'm thinking about Errol that left, that we saw before the car accident. So that's what I'm basing my assessment off of.
Yeah, and it's not taking shots at Danny. Danny's a good fighter.
No.
Just the fact that you said Errol Spence stopping Danny, who has a great iron chin, just show you how much you believe in Errol Spence, because he is that guy. Errol Spence is one of the few guys that is able to stop the elite level fighters, because he fought Kell Brook, he stopped him. He fought Lamar Pearson, he stopped him. And, of course, he didn't stop Porter, but he dropped Porter. And he didn't stop Mikey, but Mikey was looking to survive. So Errol is one of the rare fighters that be stopping these elite level fighters, because remember, Keith Thurman was one time, as soon as he hit the high level fight, profile fights, he could no longer stop his opponent like he used to be. Yeah. I mean, I don't recall the last time he had a knockout. You know what I mean? So it just show you that when you fight, so it just show you that it's hard to stop the elite level fighters. Even Manny Pacquiao, on his heyday, after the Ricky Hatton thing, he really couldn't stop a lot of opponents. He hurt a lot of opponents. It'd be cool, but he never took them out with one punch, or at least knock them out throughout the fight. Even Algieri, I think.
Yeah. I think he did knock out Cotto.
Stopped him in the 12th round, but he landed like a million punches in that fight.
And he made Cotto come out of what,
145?
145, yeah.
So that being said, Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. If Errol's the same Errol, I could see him stopping Danny to the body, just based on the body work of Errol Spence, because he is the body snatcher. Nobody has better body work than Errol Spence. He is the best body puncher in the game today. I co-sign that. I believe that's 100% true. I just don't know anybody that has better body work than Errol Spence. So that being said, I think Errol Spence stopped Danny, because one thing about Danny, he likes to think. So does Errol. Errol's a counterpuncher. But at the same time, Errol let his punches fly while he's thinking. So he will vary his offense. And it's hard, because when you have somebody that varies his offense the way Errol Spence does, just watch the Mikey Garcia fight, who was looking to counter him. He couldn't counter him with the ish, because Errol was just varying his offense, and that's a hard thing to do, because he's always 10 steps ahead of you. And then when you throw, he counter you, which kind of like throw you off your game. So that's why I think he possibly can stop Danny, but I wouldn't be too shocked if it goes 12 rounds. Now, I don't think it's going to be an easy fight, but Danny Garcia, to be honest with y'all, I did not like what I saw against Red Catch, because I saw a lot of opportunities for left hooks. Like Red Catch will be in a perfect position for a left hook, because Danny set him up for a left hook. Like, he set him up for a left hook by putting him in the right position, by feinting him the right way and all that, but he does not throw the punch, and that's his favorite punch. I don't know if it's the southpaw position that kind of got him thrown off, the angle or whatever, but if you thrown off with that, best believe you're going to be thrown off with Errol Spence. And especially him not using the jab, while Errol Spence throws 1,000 jabs a fight. But one thing that will benefit Danny Garcia in that fight, which I want to get your take on it, is the fact that Errol Spence sometimes relies on blocking punches a lot. He can, because he's good at it. Not too many fighters are as good as Errol Spence at blocking punches. But sometimes, blocking haymakers from Danny is not the wisest choice. You better off just avoiding the whole punch by moving or upper body movement. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. Anybody who's ever sparred or been in the ring, he knows that even though you're catching punches on your, forearm, shoulders, and all that, like they still have an impact, particularly if it's a strong puncher. So actually, when you said that Errol Spence, can counter you and stuff, I kind of raised my eyebrows a little bit, because it's true he can do it, but I don't think he does it a lot. So if I was somebody who was breaking down Errol Spence and I had an opponent, I mean, there's not a lot of flaws in there, but one thing that I will say, that if you throw good, strong combinations, he usually keeps his guard up, because he's so responsible defensively that he usually kind of just, he blocks, he keeps his hand up to block, so he doesn't necessarily block too much with upper body movement or with his feet, but he usually likes to kind of parry or catch the punches and maybe kind of like catch and counter. Yeah. But the thing is that Danny Garcia is not the type of combination puncher that's going to make Errol Spence keep his hands at home. The reason I said that I think that Manny Pacquiao would have a modicum of success against him is because he could throw those rapid fire combinations, and then Errol Spence is gonna like tuck in his elbows. He's gonna keep his guard up, and then he's gonna catch those punches. But to the outsider looking in, what they're gonna see is a Manny Pacquiao flurrying. Now, I don't want to get off topic, but so what I want to say is, like, even with that flaw, I don't think that Danny Garcia's style would allow him to exploit it. And we got a caller.
Yeah, we got a caller. Hold on, we got to plug it in first. Now, I agree with you 100% on that, but I think Errol will work both of them. But let me try to connect my man. We got to connect him to the studio. Threw me off guard, but you can read some of the comments till I get the job done.
Alrighty. So we got Miguel Angel Lopez says that post accident Spence is an enigma. Very true. Errol looked and sounded like a vegetable. Sort of like Bam Bam Rios. Okay. I'm like, oh.
So we got the call on the phone on hold. How you doing? AkHi, state where you calling from and who this is.
Hey, calling from Houston, Texas.
Texas. Okay.
What's going on? You said
repping Texas. You repping Texas, Errol Spence town. I see you.
Yeah, what's your name again, fam? Say that again.
Augustine.
Okay. What's good with you, bro?
How y'all doing, man?
All right.
Yeah, we got Augustine Delgado. That's you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence. I think Spence could beat him. I think Spence could beat him by unanimous decision, only because I've watched the past Danny Garcia fights, and he, kind of relating to what Dante said about, he kind of, levels
he like
up
rises, to his competition, or lowers himself to the competition, Yeah,
I feel like he can rise to the occasion. I mean, just like he did with Thurman, it was just razor thin decision when he fought Thurman. So I feel like he can probably do the same with Spence. To be honest, I'm a big Spence fan, but I'm also unbiased, and I'm gonna tell you this: like that Porter fight, man, I just didn't like the way Spence looked. I don't know, Porter's a beast, but man, I wanted Spence to look better than that,
Right.
And
I agree.
The fighter turns Crawford.
Yeah, particularly, I thought he fought the wrong fight in there. Even though I thought he won, I didn't think, just stylistically, I didn't think that was the. I mean, I think he chose to do that.
Yeah, he preaches what he does. Yeah. I mean, he said that he was gonna do that. He said he was gonna walk forward and show that he's more of a dog than Sean Porter. I don't think that was the wisest decision, but he chose to do that. Now, obviously, you from Texas, you know what I'm saying? You repping Errol Spence, so I can't let you go before I find out who you picking, Errol Spence or Terrence the Bud Crawford. The fight of the decade. Who you got?
Ooh.
It's kind of hard. Just quickly, I'm going to say I want to see Spence fight better opposition, and I want to see Crawford fight better opposition. It's just really hard to pick between the two, but as of now, since Spence has at least Porter under his resume at 147 and also Kell Brooks, I think when he fought Kell Brooks was number one. Even Thurman didn't want under Kell Brooks, and Spence went over to the UK and took that belt. So now I got Spence. I
You got Spence?
Right,
okay.
Yeah, I think it's clearly when you look at their body of work at 147 but Crawford came up from 135, right?
Yeah. Crawford came from 135, but he has a frame of 147 pounder. I just think that I will favor Errol Spence slightly, just like my man from Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from Texas, but I got to go for my man Errol Spence if he's still the same. Because like I said, the only difference the reason why I will trust Errol Spence in that fight is because he let his hands flow. Like he would let his hands go more so. And that could be to the judges in such a fight that's so close, that's so elite. Might be, the X factor. So
it might be. So I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench into it, and I think that even though I think Spence has that body of work, I love the adjustments that Bud is able to make, and I think that right now it just slightly. I think he has the superior kind of. Or even maybe kind of boxing IQ. I think their skills are similar. Obviously Spence is not a switch hitter, but if y'all got Spence, I'm gonna go with my Bud. I mean, with my homie Bud Crawford.
Okay. And my man, what's your name again?
Augustine.
And I've always wanted to ask y'all this question because y'all been talking about Spence versus Crawford. So I want to ask y'all something. Who you think has a better chance at making it at 154 and 160 out of Porter out of Spence or Crawford? Who do you think still has a longer way?
Errol Spence all day, because you got to keep in mind Crawford already moved up 2 weight divisions. This is his 3rd weight division. It get harder and harder the more you move up. Errol Spence has a big frame. I think Errol Spence's best weight is at 154, to be honest with you. I think he killing himself to make 147. I think 154 he gonna have the right amount of power, the right amount of speed, and I just think he gonna be perfect for that weight. And then 160 he gonna be pushing it a little bit, but with his skill level, I feel like he'd be okay. But Crawford, on the other hand, I don't think he will fare well at 160 because he's just too small.
Yeah, right. I think.
So you think he's maxed out at 147?
No,
I think
he can go to 154 eventually, but I would give his body time to grow into. But I obviously think that that Spence just has the frame, and like you say, he started out at 147.
Yeah.
I also want to bring in Pito Fresco. Well, I don't think he's out, but he also said something about, Danny did mention going up to 154, and we talked about it, and I said that I think he looks like food to them.
Oh, well, when you move up a division, you ain't going to fight the elite level fighters right away. So, like he did when he first moved up to 147, I mean, Keith Thurman wanted to welcome him to the welterweight division, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, Keith Thurman didn't want to welcome Crawford, but that's food for thoughts. But so when you move up a division, you're going to fight contenders, some fights that's tune-ups, and then you're gonna probably you could find the easy link. You got to keep in mind Danny Garcia won a strap at 147 against Guerrero when Guerrero was coming off back-to-back losses, so he could move up to 154 and fight Patrick, for example. I favor Danny, you know what I mean? So it's easy. Easy ways for not saying cheat codes, but at the same time for you to get big fights and win straps. Yeah. So that being said, appreciate you for calling in, man. Always tune in and call in. You know what I mean? Your record on Split Decision right now is 1-0 right now. You undefeated.
Thank y'all so much. Shouts out to y'all, Professor Nim, AkHi. Thank y'all so much, my brothers.
All right, take care, AkHi. Appreciate it.
So just a couple of things. So Bernard Avila is asking, where am I from originally? So I'm an Army brat. So I'd say I was born in Arkansas, but I lived overseas for a good minute, and I've lived in so many states I don't even want to name. But I did used to stay in Cali. I rep Arkansas because my mom's there and everything. So, but I did used to live in Cali when I was shooting my film. So I stayed in the Van Nuys area, out there. So shout out to Bernard Avila. I definitely got love for Cali.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But now, just to finish off, my man called in, asked great questions. He brought up a good point. If Danny move up, or I think you brought that up, or somebody brought it up. But Danny moved up. If he moves up to 154, he don't have to worry about the new upcoming.
Or like the Herd, or like the Charlo.
No, I'm talking about Jaron. Jaron, is that how you say his name?
Oh, you talking about
Ennis, yeah. So he don't got to worry about those guys calling him out because Danny's not a champion. Yeah. So those Jaron Ennis looking to fight him and stuff like that. So Sean Porter is a tough fight. Keith Thurman is still a good fight, but I'll favor Danny now. But still a good fight. Keith Thurman, if he back to how he used to be, he a threat. So obviously move up to 154. There's a lot of monsters there, and you don't got to fight the top elite level right away. And who knows when Danny Garcia going to fight a top 154 pounder if that's the case. So that being said, I mean, I'm not too interested in that. I would rather see him stick at welterweight. That being said, on to the next round. Can you hit the bell real quick so we can start the round? So, Herd, I just got a question for you. How he look at versus Santana? Did you enjoy? So to wrap it up, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We had technical difficulties this episode. Obviously, we were supposed to be live yesterday, but YouTube part, they had a couple issues. I don't know what happened, but regardless of that, we are here today and we made it happen. Of course, subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about a minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't, and listen to these casual fans. Obviously, on Split Decision, we offer the book of the truth. So if you do open the book, that's what you get is actually, Split Decision, where we speak about the truth and nothing but the truth. So click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post or go live. Of course, to the left in the blue corner, no other than Professor Nim. To the right on the red corner is AkHi. Professor Nim, let us out.
Only thing I want to say is, if you real men out there, well, real men and women, is put your guns down, put your gloves up.
And
let's
that's
get
the
it,
theme
and we
of
out.
AkHi. So keep in mind that, like I said, all the Canelo fans, I want y'all to call in, man. We didn't get y'all to call in today. What's up? We want all the smoke, but we want all the love as well. Appreciate all my AkHis. I don't say this enough. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I truly mean it. And may Kobe Bryant rest in peace. Gigi, his daughter. I feel sorry for his family. My condolences goes out to them. And peace, and we out.
We out.